Kashmiri Pandits have filed an intervention application in the Supreme Court wanting to draw attention of the apex court to their plight during Article 370 hearing, which will commence from the 2nd of August. This supports abrogation of the article. Pradeep Datta now joins us for more details. Pradeep, it's over to you.
Before this, the five-member bench is going to hear the petitions challenging abrogation of Article 370. Kashmiri Pandits, Youth for Permanent Kashmir, they have filed a plea, intervention plea in the Supreme Court, where they have said that how Article 370 abrogation is good, and they are saying that it was because of the Article 370 there was not a psychological integration of this region. Because of this reason, that how the separatist element grew up in this area, and because of which that 5 lakh of the Kashmiri Pandits had to abandon their hearths and home because of Pak-sponsored terrorism. They were saying that this separatist element would not have grown had there not been Article 370, because the separatist ideology was able to grow during that period, and they tried to wipe out that community that was not only representing the civilization but also Bharatiya Sanskriti and Sabhyata in that region, because the Caliphate Brigade wanted them out and they have suffered a lot. So they want the Supreme Court to hear to their plight before they go to the hearing the petition of all those people who have challenged abrogation of Article 370. So they are saying that this is really very important, because they had been people of that region, because we have seen that during the period of time how there had been appeasement politics, how the blame game was there. They tried to shift blame on then Governor Jagmohan. Their pain was discredited, and they also wanted to give clean sheet to Pakistan and Pak proxies and all the separatist elements. They said all these elements had been there only because there was Article 370 that prevented psychological integration. Though the integration of Jammu and Kashmir had been there on paper when Maharaja signed the Treaty of Accession, but psychological integration was not there because it was Article 370 had been there. Because of Article 370, when the psychological integration was not there, the separatist elements grew, and the separatist element, they never ever wanted the member from the other community to be there, because in 1990 they gave a call for Nizam-e-Mustafa. That means they wanted to have only one community, Muslims, to stay there, and that was one of the reasons that they started targeting killing, and because of which more than 5 lakh Kashmiri Hindus had to abandon their hearths and homes. So this petition, this intervention plea has been filed by them. They want that Supreme Court Chief Justice should hear to their plight, because they too have a right, because they had been one of the important stakeholders so far as Jammu and Kashmir is considered, because you can't see Jammu and Kashmir minus Kashmiri Hindus and Kashmiri Pandits, because they had been aborigines of that region who had been there since ages, and they were the one who had been representing not only the civilization but Bharatiya Sanskriti and Sabhyata. That was basically the plan of the Pakistan to wipe out. So they wanted to wipe them out. That's one of the reasons that Caliphate Brigade came out with the slogan Nizam-e-Mustafa, and they made Kashmiri Hindus to leave their hearths and home. And now they want them to be heard, because they feel there are certain section of society. But unfortunately, we have seen that a National Conference has reacted to. When I asked this question to the National Conference leader, National Conference said that basically they are doing it at a behest of the BJP, because BJP has already got a weak case in the Supreme Court. That's one of the reasons that they have asked this organization to file intervention plea, because already the affidavit which they had filed was also rejected by the Supreme Court in the past. So that's one of the reasons. But BJP has reacted strongly to that statement of National Conference. Bashir Ahmed, BJP has said that what actually the National Conference is saying, they are basically responsible for the plight of Kashmiri Pandits. Then Chief Minister Farooqullah had fled this region when
in fact, we've accessed that document, Pradeep, the document that you've provided 2 times now. Siddharth is going to run us through the highlights.
The hearings on Article 370 and its abrogation will of course begin once again in the Supreme Court starting the 2nd of August, and it's in the build-up to that that the Panoon Kashmir organization has filed this intervention application. Let me just take you through the operative portions here, where they emphasize as to why they want to be party to the proceedings of the court. It says in paragraph D, the majority of the Kashmir Valley never had faith in the Indian Constitution, and Article 370 and Article 35A of the Indian Constitution helped them in the separatist movement. On the contrary, Article 370 and 35A became a major reason for eroding the sentiment of Indian identity within the Kashmir Valley. The reason why the present applicant is moving this intervening application is because he strongly feels that Articles 370 and 35A were the biggest reason for the lack of psychological integration of the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir with the rest of India, and became a breeding ground for separatist ideas, leading to the ethnic cleansing of innocent Kashmiri Pandits. That since the abrogation of 370 370 and 35A. Targeted killings of Kashmiri Hindus have increased in the erstwhile state of Jammu and Kashmir, reaching up to 40 killings of minority Hindus. And here's the pressing point that the article notes: the reason behind the decision of the Government of India to abrogate Jammu and Kashmir Reorganization Act 2019 is correct and has been done completely within the ambit of the Constitution of India, and that 370 and 35A were in contravention of the basic structure of the Indian Constitution.
Right, Siddharth, thank you for getting us those details. We have got